We've all been there. That place where we feel stuck, like we're hitting a wall. We try the same things repeatedly, hoping for a different outcome. But the result is always the same: frustration, disappointment, and a nagging feeling of powerlessness. It's like being trapped in a cycle of our own making, unable to break free and move forward. We tell ourselves that we need to push harder, try harder, do more. But what if the answer lies not in external effort, but in internal reflection? Often the key to unlocking personal breakthroughs is to stop, take a step back, and examine the very things that make us feel powerless. It's about understanding the root causes of our struggles, the underlying beliefs and patterns that keep us stuck. This introspective journey can be challenging, requiring us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But it's in these moments of vulnerability and honesty that we open ourselves up to profound personal growth. By acknowledging our powerlessness, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. We begin to see the situation with fresh eyes, recognizing that our old ways of thinking and behaving are no longer serving us. This shift in perspective is crucial because it allows us to move from a place of reactivity to a place of conscious choice. Instead of feeling like victims of our circumstances, we become empowered to take ownership of our lives and create the change we desire. This process of self-reflection is not about dwelling on our shortcomings or wallowing in self-pity. It's about approaching ourselves with curiosity and compassion, seeking to understand the why behind our struggles. When we can identify the root causes of our powerlessness, we can begin to dismantle the barriers that hold us back and pave a new path forward. This journey of self-discovery is ongoing, requiring constant reflection and adjustment. But with each step we take, we move closer to unlocking our full potential and living a more fulfilling and meaningful life. What if the key to breaking free from our limitations isn't about striving for more power, but about embracing our perceived powerlessness? This may seem counterintuitive, but it's in the acceptance of our limitations that we discover our true strength. When we stop fighting against what we can't control, we free up energy to focus on what we can. This shift in perspective allows us to approach challenges with greater clarity and resilience, knowing that setbacks are not failures but opportunities for growth. The path to personal breakthrough is rarely linear. It's often messy, unpredictable, and full of unexpected twists and turns. There will be times when we feel lost, uncertain, and tempted to turn back. But it's in these moments of doubt that we need to dig deep, trust our intuition, and keep moving forward. Remember that every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our destination. One of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal is self-reflection. By taking the time to examine our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we gain valuable insights into ourselves and our relationship with the world around us. Through journaling, meditation, or simply taking a few moments each day to pause and reflect, we can begin to identify the patterns and beliefs that are holding us back. This increased self-awareness is essential for personal growth because it allows us to make conscious choices that align with our values and aspirations. When we approach personal growth from a place of self-compassion, we create a more supportive and nurturing environment for change to occur. We learn to embrace our imperfections, forgive ourselves for past mistakes, and approach challenges with a growth mindset. This doesn't mean we become complacent or accepting of mediocrity. Rather, it means we approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that we are all a work in progress. The idea of reflecting on our powerlessness may seem daunting at first. After all, it's human nature to want to feel in control and capable. However, it's important to remember that acknowledging our limitations doesn't diminish our worth or potential. In fact, it's often in recognizing our weaknesses that we discover our greatest strengths. When we can admit to ourselves that we don't have all the answers, we open ourselves up to seeking help, learning from others, and growing in ways we never thought possible. Think of it this way. A seed needs to first surrender to the darkness of the soil before it can sprout and grow into a strong and vibrant plant. Similarly, by embracing our perceived powerlessness, we create the fertile ground for personal transformation. We begin to see challenges not as obstacles to avoid, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering, allowing us to approach life with greater resilience, creativity, and purpose. One of the most liberating aspects of this approach is that it frees us from the need to be perfect. When we accept that we are all flawed and imperfect beings, we release the pressure to have it all figured out. This allows us to experiment, take risks, and learn from our mistakes without fear of judgment or failure. It's in these moments of vulnerability and authenticity that we truly come alive and connect with others on a deeper level. The journey of reflecting on our powerlessness is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of self-discovery and growth. It requires us to be patient with ourselves, to embrace the unknown, and to trust that the answers we seek will reveal themselves in time. By cultivating a regular practice of self-reflection, we create a space for inner wisdom to emerge and guide us towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The flip of a calendar page shouldn't feel like a punch to the gut, but for many of us, that fresh start, that crisp January 1st, quickly morphs into a cruel reminder of time's relentless march forward. It's as if the calendar itself is mocking our perceived lack of progress. We stare at the blank slate of a new year, filled with the same hopes and dreams as the year before, yet haunted by the ghosts of resolutions past. The weight of unfulfilled goals and unrealized potential can be suffocating, leaving us feeling lost and defeated before we've even begun. This annual disappointment isn't about material possessions or outward achievements. It's about that nagging feeling that we're not living up to our own expectations, that we're capable of more than we're currently experiencing. It's the realization that another year has passed, and we're still grappling with the same insecurities, the same fears, the same self-sabotaging patterns. We crave progress, yet we feel stuck in a rut, spinning our wheels without gaining any real traction. This sense of stagnation can be incredibly frustrating, leading to feelings of self-doubt, anxiety, and even despair. We may find ourselves questioning our choices, our abilities, and even our worthiness. The comparison game runs rampant as we scroll through social media feeds filled with curated highlight reels, amplifying our own perceived shortcomings. We crave the validation of external accomplishments, yet we neglect the internal work necessary for true fulfillment. But what if this annual disappointment is not a sign of failure, but a wake-up call? What if it's the universe's way of nudging us towards a more conscious and intentional way of living? Perhaps it's in these moments of discomfort that we're being called to examine our lives more closely, to identify the areas where we're out of alignment with our true selves. This process of self-reflection can be uncomfortable, even painful at times, but it's essential for growth and transformation. And deep within each of us lies an innate desire for growth, a yearning to evolve and expand beyond our current limitations. We crave the satisfaction of reaching our full potential, of becoming the best versions of ourselves. This desire is not driven by ego or a need for external validation. It's a fundamental human longing to live a meaningful and purposeful life. When we experience this annual disappointment, it's often a sign that we're not honoring this innate desire for growth. We may have become complacent, settling for a life that's comfortable, but ultimately unfulfilling. Or perhaps we're so caught up in the daily grind, the endless to-do lists and external demands, that we've lost sight of our own needs and aspirations. This disconnect between our current reality and our desired future can create a sense of internal conflict and discontent. We know deep down that we're capable of more, but we may not know how to bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be. This is where the importance of self-reflection becomes paramount. By taking the time to pause, reflect, and reconnect with our innermost selves, we begin to clarify our values, our passions, and our vision for the future. We gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters to us, allowing us to make more conscious choices aligned with our authentic selves. Imagine a hamster tirelessly running on its wheel. It expends a tremendous amount of energy, yet it never actually goes anywhere. This is a perfect metaphor for the way many of us approach personal growth. We get caught in a loop of repetitive behaviors and thought patterns, mistaking activity for progress. We set ambitious goals, work tirelessly to achieve them, and yet at the end of the year, we find ourselves back where we started, feeling unfulfilled and wondering where all our effort went. We may even achieve a certain level of external success, checking off accomplishments from our to-do lists, but still feel an emptiness within, a sense that something is missing. This feeling of being trapped in a loop is often a sign that we're approaching personal growth from a place of external validation rather than internal fulfillment. We're so focused on achieving specific outcomes, on proving something to ourselves or others, that we neglect the journey itself. We fail to cultivate the self-awareness, the emotional intelligence, and the inner peace that are essential for lasting happiness and fulfillment. To break free from this cycle, we need to shift our focus from doing to being. Instead of constantly striving to achieve the next goal, we need to cultivate a sense of presence and appreciation for the present moment. This means slowing down, connecting with our breath, and paying attention to the simple joys that life has to offer. The annual disappointment we experience is not a punishment. It's a catalyst for growth. It's a sign that we're ready for a change, that we're no longer willing to settle for a life that's out of alignment with our true selves. Within this disappointment lie the seeds of transformation, the potential for profound personal growth and lasting fulfillment. However, just like a seed needs the right conditions to germinate and grow, our own potential for transformation requires nurturing and attention. We need to create a space for self-reflection, for honest self-appraisal, and for courageous action. This means confronting our fears, challenging our limiting beliefs, and stepping outside of our comfort zones. It means embracing vulnerability, asking for help when we need it, and celebrating our progress along the way. Imagine for a moment that within each of us lies a garden. This is not a garden of flowers or vegetables, but a garden of our inner selves. It's a place where our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and experiences intertwine and take root. Like any garden, it requires care, attention, and nourishment to thrive. Neglect it, and it becomes overrun with weeds, choked by negativity, and starved of sunlight. But tend to it with love, and it blossoms with vibrant colors, bearing the fruits of our highest potential. The act of planting the seed of reflection is akin to tending to this inner garden. It's about taking the time to till the soil of our minds, clearing away the debris of limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. This process can be challenging, as it requires us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It may involve digging deep into past wounds, unearthing buried emotions, and facing aspects of ourselves that we'd rather keep hidden. But it's precisely in these moments of vulnerability and honesty that true growth occurs. Just as a gardener must remove weeds to allow their desired plants to flourish, we must confront the negative patterns and limiting beliefs that hinder our growth. This requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to look within with an open and accepting heart. Through the act of reflection, we begin to understand the origins of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We gain insight into the root causes of our struggles and discover the underlying beliefs that shape our perceptions. This self-awareness is essential for personal growth because it allows us to make conscious choices that align with our values and aspirations, rather than reacting unconsciously from a place of fear or limiting beliefs. Once we've cleared away the initial debris, it's time to nourish the soil of our minds. Just as plants need water, sunlight, and nutrients to thrive, our inner gardens require nourishment in the form of positive self-talk, self-care, and a growth mindset. This means treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, even when we make mistakes. It means celebrating our successes, big and small, and acknowledging our own resilience in the face of challenges. One powerful way to nourish our inner gardens is through the practice of gratitude. By focusing on the good in our lives, we shift our attention away from scarcity and lack towards abundance and appreciation. This simple yet profound practice can have a transformative effect on our overall well-being, reducing stress, boosting happiness, and fostering a greater sense of contentment. Another essential element of nurturing our inner gardens is setting healthy boundaries. Just as a gardener builds fences to protect their plants from pests and harsh elements, we need to establish boundaries in our lives to protect our energy, time, and emotional well-being. This may involve saying no to commitments that drain us, setting limits on our exposure to negativity, and prioritizing self-care activities that nourish our souls. Creating a supportive environment for our inner gardens to thrive is also crucial. This means surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, who encourage our growth, and who challenge us to be our best selves. It also means seeking out experiences that nourish our souls, whether it's spending time in nature, pursuing creative passions, or connecting with loved ones. Planting the seed of reflection is an invitation to engage in the art of introspection. This practice has been valued by philosophers, spiritual seekers, and wisdom traditions for centuries. It's about carving out time for quiet contemplation, delving beneath the surface of our thoughts and emotions. Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-reflection, allowing us to process our thoughts and emotions. Meditation is another valuable practice for cultivating inner peace and self-awareness. By quieting the mind and focusing on the present moment, we create space for insights to emerge. Engaging in honest self-assessment is also integral to introspection. This involves evaluating our strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth. It's about asking tough questions. Are we living in alignment with our values? Are we fulfilling our potential? While self-reflection can be challenging, it's ultimately deeply rewarding. Through introspection, we gain valuable insights into ourselves and the world. We develop greater self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and the ability to make conscious choices. This leads to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Every experience, interaction, challenge, and triumph contains a seed of wisdom. These seeds often remain dormant unless we take the time to reflect upon them. Just as a farmer must cultivate the land, we must cultivate the habit of reflection to reap wisdom. This requires an open mind and a willingness to learn. It means paying attention to life's lessons, both big and small. Reflecting on our successes and failures, joys and sorrows, helps us extract valuable insights. Mindfulness is a powerful way to cultivate wisdom. By bringing full attention to the present moment, we become more aware of our thoughts and emotions. This heightened awareness allows us to observe our experiences objectively. Seeking guidance from mentors, teachers, or trusted friends can also be valuable. An outside perspective can help us see things more clearly. Talking to someone we trust can offer support, encouragement, and constructive feedback. As we nurture our inner gardens, we reap a bountiful harvest of wisdom and personal growth. In personal growth, we often focus on maximizing strengths and minimizing weaknesses. We strive for control and mastery, yet embracing our feelings of powerlessness can unlock profound personal breakthroughs. This isn't about accepting defeat, it's about recognizing that our perceived limitations can unlock our true potential. Think of a sailboat navigating a vast ocean. The wind, representing life's challenges, can propel the boat forward or toss it off course. The skilled sailor adjusts the sails, understanding the wind's power. Similarly, when we feel powerless, our first reaction might be resistance. But what if we leaned into these feelings? What if we understood the source of our frustration? By embracing powerlessness, we create space for deeper self-awareness. We question our assumptions and challenge our limiting beliefs. This introspection can be uncomfortable, but leads to true transformation. Vulnerability and honesty are key to personal growth. Embracing powerlessness can lead to profound breakthroughs. The path to personal growth is rarely linear or comfortable. It's often messy and challenging. There will be moments of feeling lost and uncertain. But it's in these moments of discomfort that we have the greatest opportunity for growth. Just as a muscle grows stronger when challenged, our capacity for resilience expands when we embrace discomfort. Think of the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. This transformation involves intense vulnerability. Similarly, personal growth requires letting go of old identities and beliefs. This process can feel chaotic and disorienting, but in this surrender, we create space for profound transformation. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean seeking out suffering. It's about sitting with uncomfortable emotions and exploring their messages. It's about approaching challenges as opportunities for growth. One powerful way to embrace discomfort is through self-compassion. When struggling, it's easy to fall into self-criticism, but we need to extend the same compassion to ourselves as we would to a loved one. Acknowledge our humanity and treat ourselves with gentleness. Embracing discomfort leads to profound personal growth. Section 3. A framework for breakthrough. To navigate personal growth, it's helpful to have a framework. The key reflection technique is consciously reflecting on situations that evoke feelings of powerlessness. This isn't about dwelling on negativity. It's about understanding why we feel stuck or frustrated. The reflection process has 2 key steps. Step 1. Identifying the source of powerlessness. Pay attention to situations that trigger frustration or a sense of being stuck. Ask, what about this situation makes me feel powerless? Is it external circumstances or internal struggles? Step 2. Exploring alternative perspectives. Challenge assumptions and explore different ways of perceiving the situation. Ask, what if my assumptions are incorrect? What if this experience is an opportunity for growth? By opening ourselves to new possibilities, we empower positive change. Section 4. Unlocking the why. The true power of reflection lies in unlocking the why behind our feelings of powerlessness. Our initial reactions to challenges are driven by unconscious beliefs and past experiences. These drivers can keep us stuck in repetitive cycles. By reflecting on powerlessness, we bring these drivers to the surface. We understand how past experiences shape our perceptions. This self-awareness allows us to make conscious choices aligned with our values. For example, someone struggling with public speaking might uncover a childhood experience that created a deep-seated belief. This realization provides insight into the root cause of their fear. They can then challenge their limiting belief and develop coping mechanisms. Reflecting on powerlessness is not about seeking easy answers. It's about exploring the complexities of our emotions. It requires courage and compassion. Embrace the transformative power of self-discovery. Believe in your potential for growth. Section 1. Shifting from struggle to solutions. Reflecting on powerlessness is not about dwelling in negativity. It's about shifting our energy from struggle to solutions. Recognize that we always have the power to choose our response. We can choose to remain stuck or view challenges as opportunities for growth. This shift begins with a change in perspective. Focus on what we can control: our thoughts, beliefs, actions, and responses. Approach situations with an empowered mindset. Release the burden of perfectionism. Accept that setbacks are part of the learning process. Tap into creativity and resourcefulness. Create space for new ideas and solutions to emerge. Section 2. The power of perspective. Our perception shapes our experiences and influences our emotions. Feeling powerless often stems from a limited perspective. We may focus on the negative or exaggerate challenges. Our perspectives are fluid and can be consciously changed. Shifting our perspective can alter our experience of a situation. Reframing involves viewing a situation from a different angle. Focus on potential benefits or lessons to be learned. For example, view a career setback as an opportunity for growth. Challenge assumptions that hold us back. These beliefs may have served us in the past, but can limit our potential. Questioning assumptions opens us to new possibilities. Create space for empowering beliefs to take root. Perspective shifts lead to new solutions and opportunities. Embrace the power of perspective for personal growth. Section 3. Practical strategies for change. Shifting from struggle to solutions and adopting an empowered perspective are essential. These mindset shifts are most effective with practical strategies for change. Here are actionable steps to move from feeling powerless to empowered. Set realistic goals. Overwhelm often stems from having too much on our plates. Break down large goals into smaller steps. Celebrate progress and adjust goals as needed. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. Manage stress and negative emotions with exercise, meditation, or creative pursuits. Seek support from others. Reach out to friends, family, mentors, or therapists for guidance. Sharing struggles helps gain perspective and process emotions. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself throughout the process. Personal growth is a journey with setbacks and challenges. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a loved one. Remember, the key to empowerment is taking action. Even small steps, taken consistently, lead to significant change. Embrace the journey of personal growth. Believe in your potential for transformation. Take practical steps to create lasting change. Section 4. Embracing the journey of growth. The journey of personal growth is not about achieving a state of perfect happiness or eliminating all challenges from our lives. It's about developing the resilience, the self-awareness, and the emotional intelligence to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with greater grace, courage, and wisdom. It's about embracing the unknown, learning from our experiences, and continually striving to become the best versions of ourselves. As we move through life, we will inevitably encounter situations that make us feel powerless. But by embracing these experiences as opportunities for growth, by reflecting on our feelings, challenging our assumptions, and taking action to create positive change, we transform these moments of perceived weakness into stepping stones on our path to greater empowerment and fulfillment. The journey of personal growth is a lifelong adventure. There will be moments of joy, moments of frustration, moments of triumph, and moments of defeat. But through it all, remember that you are not alone. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and never give up on your potential for growth and transformation. Remember that garden within us, where we planted the seeds of reflection? By tending to that inner landscape, by acknowledging our feelings of powerlessness and seeking to understand their root causes, we create the fertile ground for solutions to sprout. Initially, these solutions may emerge as fragile seedlings, mere whispers of possibility amidst the doubts and fears that have taken root over time. But just as a tiny seed holds the potential for a mighty tree, these fledgling solutions possess the power to transform our lives in profound and lasting ways. The process of uncovering solutions often begins with a willingness to ask ourselves powerful questions. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, we shift our attention to what's possible. We ask ourselves, what if there were a different way to approach this challenge? What if I possessed the strength, the resources, and the wisdom to find a solution? What if the very obstacles I perceive as insurmountable are actually stepping stones to a more fulfilling and authentic life? These questions act as gentle probes, encouraging us to look beyond the limitations of our current perspective and to open ourselves up to a wider range of possibilities. As we delve deeper into these inquiries, we may find that the answers we seek have been present all along, hidden in plain sight, obscured only by the shadows of our self-doubt. Often, the solutions to our most pressing problems are not complex or elusive, but rather simple and elegant, revealed to us when we create the space for clarity and insight to emerge. It's important to approach this process with a spirit of curiosity and experimentation. Just as a gardener tests different soil conditions, watering schedules, and sunlight exposures to optimize the growth of their plants, we too must be willing to experiment with different approaches, to embrace trial and error as an integral part of the learning process. Some solutions may blossom quickly and effortlessly, while others may require more time, patience, and persistent nurturing to take root and flourish. Imagine a tiny seedling pushing its way through the hard-packed earth, its delicate stem defying gravity, its tender leaves reaching towards the sunlight. This image embodies the quiet strength of a solution emerging from the depths of our perceived powerlessness. It's a reminder that even the smallest, most fragile-seeming solution possesses an inherent power, a tenacious will to survive and thrive, given the right conditions. Just as a seedling requires nourishment, sunlight, and protection from harsh elements to flourish, the solutions we uncover through reflection need our active support and nurturing to take root and grow strong. This means taking concrete steps to implement these solutions, even when it feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, or even a bit frightening. It's about pushing past the resistance of our old patterns and limiting beliefs, trusting that even small, consistent actions taken in the direction of our desired outcomes will eventually yield significant results. One of the most common obstacles to implementing solutions is the fear of failure. We hesitate, second-guess ourselves, and procrastinate, paralyzed by the fear that our efforts will be met with disappointment or judgment. But what if we embraced failure as an integral part of the growth process? What if we viewed setbacks not as evidence of our inadequacy, but as valuable feedback, opportunities to learn, adjust our approach, and try again with greater wisdom and resilience? The truth is, there is no failure in growth, only feedback. Every perceived setback, every detour on our journey, offers valuable lessons that can guide us towards our desired outcomes. By reframing our relationship with failure, we free ourselves up to take risks, to experiment with different approaches, and to approach challenges with a spirit of curiosity and determination rather than fear and avoidance. Confidence is not something we are born with. It's something we cultivate through action, through the experience of overcoming challenges, and through the realization that we are capable of far more than we often give ourselves credit for. Every time we take a step outside of our comfort zones, every time we confront a fear, and come out the other side every time we persevere in the face of adversity, we strengthen our belief in ourselves and our ability to create the life we desire. As we begin to implement the solutions we've uncovered through reflection, we may find that our confidence grows exponentially. Each small victory, each obstacle overcome, each step taken in the direction of our goals serves as a powerful affirmation of our own capabilities. We begin to trust ourselves more deeply, to believe in our own resilience, and to approach future challenges with a sense of optimism and determination that we may not have possessed before. One of the most effective ways to cultivate confidence is to celebrate our successes, both big and small. In the busyness of daily life, it's easy to overlook our accomplishments, to minimize our efforts, and to focus on what still needs to be done. But taking the time to acknowledge and appreciate our progress, to savor the feeling of accomplishment, however fleeting it may seem, reinforces our belief in ourselves and fuels our motivation to keep moving forward. It's also important to surround ourselves with people who support our growth, who believe in our potential, and who encourage us to step outside of our comfort zones. Having a supportive network of friends, family members, mentors, or coaches can make all the difference in our journey of personal transformation. These individuals provide a safe space for us to share our struggles, to celebrate our victories, and to receive encouragement when self-doubt creeps in. The confidence we cultivate through action and self-reflection has a ripple effect, extending outwards into all areas of our lives. As our belief in ourselves grows stronger, we show up differently in the world. We become more willing to take risks, to pursue our passions, to set healthy boundaries, and to speak up for what we believe in. We attract more opportunities, form deeper connections with others, and experience a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. This increased self-belief also empowers us to make a positive impact on the world around us. When we believe in our own abilities, we're more likely to believe in the potential of others. We become more compassionate, more understanding, and more willing to extend a helping hand to those in need. We recognize that our lives are interconnected, and that by supporting the growth and well-being of others, we contribute to a more just, equitable, and fulfilling world for all. The journey of unlocking personal breakthroughs through reflecting on powerlessness is not a solitary pursuit. It's a collective endeavor, one that requires us to support and uplift one another, to celebrate each other's successes, and to offer encouragement and compassion when challenges arise. By embracing the transformative power of self-reflection, by cultivating confidence through action, and by extending our newfound belief in ourselves outwards into the world, we create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond our own individual lives. Remember, the journey of personal growth is an ongoing process, one that requires continual self-reflection, a willingness to embrace discomfort, and an unwavering belief in our own potential for transformation. The seeds of solutions are always present within us, waiting for the fertile ground of our attention, our intention, and our unwavering belief in ourselves to sprout, grow, and blossom into the extraordinary lives we are capable of living. We began this exploration by acknowledging a universal human experience, that feeling of hitting a wall, of facing those persistent challenges that leave us feeling powerless and discouraged. It's easy in those moments to believe that the answers lie outside of ourselves, in some external change of circumstance, some magical solution, some stroke of luck. But as we've discovered, the true power to transform our lives resides within us, in the fertile ground of our own hearts and minds. The act of reflecting on our powerlessness, of delving into the roots of our struggles and seeking to understand the why behind our experiences, is not always easy or comfortable. It requires courage to confront those aspects of ourselves that we might prefer to keep hidden, to acknowledge our limitations, and to embrace the messy, imperfect beauty of being human. But it's precisely in these moments of vulnerability and honesty that we unlock the greatest potential for growth, healing, and transformation. When we approach our challenges not as insurmountable obstacles but as opportunities for learning, when we shift our focus from struggle to solutions, and when we begin to recognize the interconnectedness of our experiences, we tap into an unseen power within us, a power that empowers us to create lasting change, not just in our own lives, but in the world around us. The journey of personal growth is not about achieving a state of perfect happiness or eliminating all challenges from our lives. It's about cultivating the resilience, the self-awareness, and the emotional intelligence to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with grace, courage, and wisdom. Remember that personal growth is not a destination. It's a journey, an ongoing process of unfolding, of becoming. There will be moments of profound insight, moments of exhilarating progress, and moments of frustration, doubt, and even setbacks. Embrace these moments, for they are all part of the tapestry of your unique and beautiful journey. As you continue on this path of self-discovery, remember to be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem, and learn from your challenges, knowing that each experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, holds within it valuable lessons that can guide you towards your highest potential. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, who believe in your dreams, and who challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Share your journey with those you trust, seek guidance when you need it, and remember that you don't have to navigate this path alone. And most importantly, never lose sight of the incredible power that resides within you. The power to choose your perspective, to challenge your limiting beliefs, to take action in the face of fear, and to create a life that is aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. In a world that often prioritizes speed, efficiency, and external achievement, the practice of self-reflection may seem like a luxury, something to be squeezed in if time permits. But I invite you to consider self-reflection not as an indulgence, but as an essential act of self-care, a gift you give to yourself and to the world. When we take the time to pause, to reflect on our experiences, to connect with our inner wisdom, we create space for clarity, creativity, and deeper meaning to emerge in our lives. We gain a greater understanding of ourselves, our motivations, and our place in the world. We develop greater empathy, compassion, and connection with others, and we cultivate the wisdom and resilience to navigate life's complexities with grace, courage, and purpose. The journey of self-reflection is a lifelong adventure, one that deepens and enriches our experiences with each passing year. It's a gift that keeps on giving, leading us towards greater self-awareness, deeper fulfillment, and a more meaningful and purpose-driven life. So I invite you to embrace the gift of self-reflection. Make it a regular practice, a non-negotiable part of your daily or weekly routine. Create a sacred space for yourself where you can disconnect from the outside world and reconnect with your inner landscape. And watch as the transformative power of self-reflection unfolds in your life, revealing the extraordinary potential that lies within you.